All right, get ready to sway because today we are diving deep into the world of the hottest peppers.
Ooh, spicy.
You guys wanted to know about these peppers that make grown adults cry.
Yeah.
And the science behind their fiery fury.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to explore what drives the quest for the hottest pepper.
I love it. It's a fascinating topic.
We'll be looking at the Scoville scale,
Yes.
a system for measuring the heat of peppers.
It's been around for over a century.
Wow, the Scoville scale. It's how we measure the concentration of capsaicin, right?
Exactly.
The chemical compound that brings the heat.
Yes, and we'll be exploring peppers with some seriously high Scoville heat units, or SOs for short.
Okay, essays.
We're talking hundreds, even thousands of times hotter than a jalapeno.
You know what? I think a lot of people would be surprised to learn that a jalapeno,
Yeah.
which most people consider pretty spicy,
Mm-hmm.
only clocks in at around 2,500 SAS.
Yeah, it really puts things in perspective. But we're going to be talking about peppers that are like off the charts.
Okay.
And keep in mind, these are officially verified SH scores.
Right.
There may be even hotter contenders out there waiting to be rigorously tested.
That makes the whole thing even more intriguing.
Yeah.
So where do we start on this journey to the top of the Scoville scale?
Let's kick things off with the Scotch bonnet pepper coming in at 350,000 SHU.
350,000.
It's still incredibly hot,
Wow.
but the most manageable on our list.
Okay. That's over like 140 times hotter than a jalapeno.
It is.
But what I find really interesting about the Scotch bonnet
Yeah,
is that it's the only pepper on our list that grows naturally.
that's right.
It's not a hybrid. It's not like
Right.
that's been specifically bred for extreme heat.
It's found in West Africa and the Caribbean,
Oh, wow.
and it's a staple in Caribbean cuisine.
So you might actually encounter this pepper in a dish and not realize just how potent it can be.
Exactly.
Wow.
Even at the lower end of its heat range,
Okay.
which is around 100,000 SH, it packs a serious punch.
Okay. I start to feel the heat already.
Yeah.
What's next on our list?
Next up is the red Savina pepper,
Okay.
which held the world record for the hottest pepper from 1994 to 2006.
Wow. Okay.
Its SHU range is between 350,000 and 577,000.
So it overlaps with Scotch bonnet.
It does.
But at its peak, it's significantly hotter.
Yes.
A pretty impressive range, but I'm guessing the competition in the pepper world has heated up since then.
Absolutely. The quest for the hottest pepper has intensified in recent years.
Wow.
Back in the 90s, though, the red Savina was the king.
Okay.
And it was even used in pepper spray.
I would not want to be on the wrong side of that pepper. So what dethroned the red Savina? What took the heat to the next level?
Get ready for a major jump in spiciness. We're moving on to the Bujalokia, also known as the ghost pepper, with an SHU of over 1 million.
Over 1 million. That's a whole different ballgame. So the ghost pepper basically blew the competition out of water in 2007.
Yes. The ghost pepper's officially recognized SHU is 1,001,304. It held the world record until 2011
Okay.
and marked a turning point in the pepper heat race.
I see.
This is where we see a real escalation in the pursuit of the hottest pepper.
So 2011 was a big year in the world of super hot peppers.
It was.
What happened then?
That's when the ghost pepper was dethroned not once, but multiple times in quick succession.
Oh, wow.
First, we had the Infinity chili pepper, bred in the UK, with a scorching 1,176,182 SEA.
I wouldn't typically think of the UK as a hotbed for chili pepper breeding.
Right.
That's pretty wild.
But that just goes to show how dedicated pepper breeders are to pushing the boundaries.
So how long did the Infinity chili pepper hold the title?
Its reign was very short-lived,
Okay.
but it still earned its place in pepper history.
Mm-hmm.
And not just for its heat. There's an interesting story about a curry made with 20 Infinity chilies
Oh, wow.
called The Widower.
Okay.
It was advertised as the world's hottest curry, and by 2016, only one person had successfully finished the entire dish.
Wow, only one person. That must have been an intense experience. Okay, what came after the Infinity chili?
Next, we have the Trinidad Moruga scorpion pepper, which comes from Trinidad and Tobago, as you might guess.
Right.
It has an average SHU rating of 1.2 million, officially coming in at 1,207,764 SHU.
Okay, so we're firmly in like extreme heat territory now.
We are.
Does each pepper have its own unique kind of burn?
Yes, they do. The Trinidad Moruga scorpion, for example,
Okay.
is notorious for its long-lasting burn. It's said to linger for at least 8 minutes.
8 minutes. I can't even imagine.
It really shows you the power of capsaicin.
So after the Infinity chili and the Trinidad Moruga scorpion battled it out in 2011,
Yeah,
what came next?
that would be another UK creation.
Really?
The Naga viper. which briefly held the world record in 2011.
Another UK pepper, they were really on a roll.
They were. This pepper is not to be confused with the Dorset Naga, which is also quite hot.
Okay.
The Naga viper is in a league of its own.
Okay, so we're getting close to the top of our pepper pyramid now. What could possibly be hotter than the Naga viper?
Well, remember the Trinidad Moruga scorpion?
Yeah?
Get ready for its even hotter relative, the Trinidad scorpion bush tea pepper.
Okay.
This one stole the world record back in March 2011.
Wow.
Before ultimately losing to our final contender.
Oh, man.
Its official SHU rating is a blazing 1,463,700.
Wow, so even within a specific type of pepper, there can be huge variations in heat.
There can.
What made this particular scorpion so potent?
Well, this is where things get a little quirky.
Okay.
The Trinidad scorpion bush tea pepper was cultivated in Australia.
Wow.
And its creator, Marcel DeWitt,
Okay.
believes its extreme heat is partly due to a special ingredient in his fertilizer, worm juice.
Worm juice. What is that exactly?
Essentially, it's liquid runoff from a worm farm. DeWitt believes that the worm juice is full of nutrients,
Oh, wow.
growth hormones, and other compounds that boost the pepper's heat. It also contains chitin, which comes from insect exoskeletons.
Interesting.
Apparently, triton can trigger a plant's natural defense mechanisms, leading to higher capsaicin production.
So it's like the pepper plant thinks it's under attack and produces more capsaicin to protect itself.
Right, exactly.
That's fascinating.
It really is. It just shows how complex the relationship is between a plant's environment and its chemical makeup.
I can't wait to hear about the current record holder. Tell me everything.
Drum roll, please. The reigning champion of the chili pepper world is the Carolina Reaper,
The Carolina Reaper.
with an average SHU of a mind-blowing 1,641,183.
That's over 650 times hotter than a jalapeno. I can't even fathom that level of heat.
It's truly an elite of its own.
Wow.
And it's not just a random claim.
Okay.
The Carolina Reaper's record was officially confirmed by Guinness World Records in 2017,
Wow.
based on rigorous testing at Winthrop University in South Carolina.
Oh, wow. So it's the real deal.
It is, and it still holds the title today.
So it's been the reigning champion for over 6 years. That's a long time in the world of competitive pepper breeding.
That's a long time.
What makes the Carolina Reaper so special?
Well, it was created by a chili farmer in the U.S. named Ed Curry.
Oh, wow.
He clearly knows what he's doing when it comes to breeding super hot peppers.
Right.
The Carolina Reaper is so potent that even handling it requires extreme caution.
You mean more than just wearing gloves?
Yes. Workers who seed the Carolina Reaper have to wear 2 layers of gloves
Wow.
because the oils from the pepper can actually burn through latex.
Oh, my goodness.
That's how concentrated the capsaicin is.
Wow. That's both terrifying and amazing.
It really shows you the incredible power of nature.
Right.
And it's a great example of how humans have learned to manipulate that power to create something so intensely potent.
This has been an incredible journey through the world of hot peppers already.
It has.
It's amazing to see how much the science and the breeding techniques have evolved over the years.
It really speaks to human curiosity and our desire to push boundaries.
And sometimes that means pushing the boundaries of our taste buds and pain tolerance. But I'm curious, from a scientific perspective, what's actually happening in our bodies when we eat something spicy?
Well, as we mentioned before, the key player here is capsaicin.
Right.
It's a chemical irritant that binds to pain receptors.
Okay.
Specifically the TRPV1 receptors,
Right.
which are found in our mouths,
Yeah.
throats, and throughout our digestive systems.
So it's not actually heat in the traditional sense.
Nope.
It's more like a pain signal.
Exactly. When capsaicin activates these receptors,
Yeah.
it triggers a cascade of nerve impulses that our brains interpret as a burning sensation. And it's not just a local reaction in your mouth.
No.
Capsaicin can cause sweating, flushing, and even a runny nose.
That explains the full body experience I have when I eat something really spicy.
It does.
It's like my body's going into overdrive.
That's exactly right. Your body is trying to cope with this perceived threat. It's fascinating how evolution has shaped our responses to certain stimuli,
Yeah.
even if they don't actually harmful in small doses.
But there must be a reason why peppers evolved to produce capsaicin in the first place, right?
Right.
It can't be just to torture us.
That's a great question.
Thanks.
The answer is all about the plant's defense mechanisms.
Okay.
Peppers produce capsaicin to deter mammals like us from eating them.
So it's like a natural pesticide.
Exactly. Mammals have those sensitive TRPV1 receptors that make us experience the burning sensation,
Right.
but birds don't.
Oh.
So peppers can be dispersed by birds without being harmed,
Okay.
which allows them to spread their seeds more effectively.
So we humans are basically collateral damage in the pepper's evolutionary strategy.
You could say that.
That's incredibly clever.
But despite its fiery reputation,
Okay.
capsaicin can actually have some health benefits for humans.
Really? I thought it was all pain and suffering.
There is some evidence that suggests that capsaicin can act as an analgesic, which means it can help to relieve pain.
Interesting.
It's been used topically to treat conditions like arthritis and muscle pain.
So it's like fighting fire with fire.
Kind of. Capsaicin essentially overwhelms the pain receptors,
Oh, wow.
making them less sensitive to other pain signals.
That's fascinating. So these fiery peppers have more to offer than just their heat.
Absolutely. There's a whole world of research going on,
Oh, wow.
exploring the potential medicinal properties of capsaicin.
Okay, color me impressed. We've covered the science behind the heat,
Yeah.
the evolutionary purpose of capsaicin,
Mm-hmm.
and even some of its potential health benefits. But what about the people who actually breed these super hot peppers?
Right.
What drives them to create something so intensely spicy?
That's a great question. I think it speaks to a basic human instinct, our drive to push boundaries and explore the limits of what's possible.
It's like explorers who set out to climb the highest mountain or sail to the farthest reaches of the ocean.
Exactly.
There's an element of challenge involved.
There's a sense of adventure and challenge
Mm-hmm.
in seeking out the hottest pepper, in creating something that has never existed before.
And it's not just about the heat, is it? These pepper breeders are also artists.
Yeah,
Carefully selecting traits and using genetics to create new flavors and aromas.
that's a great point. It's like a culinary form of art.
Wow.
They're constantly experimenting,
Right.
crossing different pepper varieties and hoping to discover something truly unique and delicious.
And I imagine there's also a sense of community among these pepper enthusiasts.
Absolutely. There are online forums, competitions, and even festivals devoted to chili peppers.
Really?
It's a subculture with its own devoted followers.
So it's more than just a hobby, it's a way of life.
For some, it definitely is.
Wow.
It's a way to connect with others who share their love of spice
Mm-hmm.
and to push the boundaries of what's possible in the world of chili peppers.
This has been a really insightful deep dive so far.
It has.
We've gone from the science of capsaicin to the psychology of chili pepper breeders. It's amazing how one little compound can lead to so much exploration and discovery.
It really is. And you know what else is fascinating about chili peppers?
What's that?
They're so much more than just a source of heat.
Okay.
They're deeply ingrained in cuisines and traditions all around the world.
You're right. Peppers are a fundamental ingredient in so many cultures.
They are.
From the smoky chipotles of Mexico
Yes.
to the vibrant gochujang of Korea, chili peppers add a unique dimension of flavor and spice to countless dishes.
Exactly. And it's not just about the taste.
Right.
There's also a whole social element to eating spicy food.
You mean the way it could be a bonding experience or a test of courage?
Yes. Think about those chili cook-offs and hot wings challenges.
Mhm.
They're not just about who can handle the most heat.
Right.
They're about community, camaraderie, and pushing boundaries together.
And there's the cultural significance of chili peppers, too.
Yes.
In some cultures, they're used in rituals, ceremonies,
Mm-hmm.
and even traditional medicine.
That's right. They're often seen as symbols of good luck,
Okay.
prosperity, and even protection from evil spirits. It's amazing how something as simple as a pepper can hold so much meaning and history.
This deep dive has been incredible. We've gone from the molecular level of capsaicin all the way to the global cultural impact of chili peppers. It's amazing to see how one little fruit can have such a profound impact on the world.
It really is.
It really is remarkable how a single ingredient can weave its way through history, science, and culture like that.
It speaks to the interconnectedness of those things, science, culture, the human experience, yeah.
You know, we've been talking about the people who breed these super hot peppers and their drive to push the boundaries of heat.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm curious about the people on the other end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
What about the folks who actually enjoy eating these peppers?
Right.
What's the psychology behind that love of spice?
That's a fascinating question. And there are a few theories out there.
Okay.
One idea is that it's all about the endorphin rush.
Okay, the endorphin rush.
Yeah, when you eat something spicy, your body releases endorphins,
Right.
which have mood-boosting and pain-relieving effects.
Interesting.
Some people actually become addicted to that feeling.
So it's like a runner's high, but for chili heads.
Exactly. And there's also the thrill-taking aspect.
Right.
Some people are just drawn to intense experiences,
Right.
whether it's skydiving or eating a Carolina Reaper.
Right.
They get a kick out of pushing their limits person facing a challenge.
I can definitely see that. There's something inherently daring about taking that first bite of a super hot pepper.
There is, and then there's the social aspect.
Okay.
Eating spicy food can be a bonding experience.
Yeah.
Especially in cultures where chili peppers are a staple part of the cuisine.
Mm-hmm.
It's a way to connect with others, to share a challenge, and to show off your tolerance.
That's so true. I've seen those hot wings eating contests. And it's clear that it's as much about the social interaction
Yeah.
and the shared experience as it is about the actual food.
Absolutely. And let's not forget the role of desensitization.
Desensitization.
Yes, the more you expose yourself to spicy food,
Right.
the more tolerant you become.
Okay.
Your taste buds actually adapt.
That makes sense.
And what was once unbearably hot might start to taste more manageable over time.
So someone who grew up eating spicy food might have a completely different experience with a hot pepper
Right.
compared to someone who's never tried anything spicier than a bell pepper.
Precisely. Their perception of what's hot will be totally different.
This whole conversation is making me want to explore the world of chili peppers even more. But knowing what we know now about the science behind capsaicin
Yeah.
and the potential risks of eating super hot peppers, is it even safe to experiment with these intense levels of heat?
That's a really important question. It's crucial to remember that capsaicin, while it might have some potential health benefits, can also be dangerous in high concentrations.
So we need to exercise caution.
Absolutely. Especially with those super hot peppers, and you're talking about like serious burns.
Yeah.
Both internally and externally.
Wow.
There have been cases of people experiencing severe gastrointestinal distress,
Really?
esophageal spasms, and even breathing difficulties after consuming extremely spicy food.
That's a good reminder that this is not something to take lightly.
Exactly. And it's not just about the immediate discomfort.
Okay.
There's also the potential for long-term damage.
Oh, wow.
Eating excessively spicy foods regularly can irritate your stomach lining,
Right?
leading to ulcers and other gastrointestinal problems.
So it's all about moderation.
Exactly. It's like anything else. Enjoy in moderation.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to your body and don't push yourself beyond your limits.
What about those people who seem to be able to handle extreme heat without any problems?
All right.
Are some people just genetically predisposed to be chili heads?
That's an interesting area of research. There's some evidence to suggest that there might be a genetic component to spice tolerance.
Okay.
Certain genes might influence the number or sensitivity of those TRPV1 receptors we talked about earlier.
So it's possible that some people are just born with a higher threshold for pain
Yeah.
when it comes to spicy food.
It's definitely possible. But even if you're genetically blessed with a high spice tolerance,
Right.
it's still important to be mindful of your consumption and not overdo it.
Good advice. You know, we've been focusing a lot on the science of capsaicin
Yeah.
and the potential risks and benefits of eating spicy food. But I want to circle back to something we touched on earlier, the cultural significance of chili peppers.
It's a rich and fascinating topic.
It is.
As we've already discussed, chili peppers play an integral role in countless cultures worldwide. They're more than just an ingredient. They're woven into the fabric of culinary traditions,
Right.
social customs, and even spiritual beliefs.
It's amazing to think that a single fruit can have such a profound cultural impact.
It really is. Think about how chili peppers are used in different cuisines around the world.
Right.
In some cultures, they're primarily used for their heat,
Yeah.
adding a fiery kick to dishes.
Mm-hmm.
In others, the focus is more on the flavor and aroma that they bring.
You're right. Take Mexico, for example.
Yeah, Mexico.
Chili peppers are essential to Mexican cuisine, and they're used in a wide variety of ways.
They are.
From the smoky chipotle to the earthy yanko.
Right.
Each pepper has its own unique flavor profile that adds depth and complexity to dishes.
Exactly. And in India, chili peppers are used in both fresh and dried forms
Oh, wow.
to create a wide range of flavors and heat levels. They're essential in curries, chutneys, and many other dishes.
And in Korea, gochujang,
Gochujang, yes.
a fermented chili paste, is a staple ingredient that adds a sweet and spicy and umami flavor to many Korean dishes.
It's a great example of how chili peppers can be used to create unique and complex flavors.
And it's not just about the culinary uses, is it?
Now,
Chili peppers also play a role in traditional medicine and spiritual practices in many cultures.
that's right. In some cultures, chili peppers are believed to have medicinal properties.
Oh, really?
They're used to treat ailments like colds, indigestion, and even arthritis.
I've heard that in some cultures, chili peppers are also used in rituals and ceremonies.
Exactly. They can be seen as symbols of good luck, prosperity, and even protection from evil spirits.
Right?
In some cultures, they're used in offerings to deities or burned as incense to purify spaces.
It's incredible how something as simple as a pepper can hold such deep cultural and spiritual significance.
It really speaks to the power of food to connect us to our heritage, our beliefs, and our communities.
This deep dive is turning out to be so much more than just a spicy adventure. We've explored the science,
We have.
the history, the culture, and even the psychology behind these incredible fruits.
It's amazing how one small ingredient can open up such a vast world of knowledge and discovery.
I feel like we've only just scratched the surface of this fiery topic.
There's always more to learn about chili peppers.
We've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive. We've
Yeah.
talked about the science behind capsaicin, the history of pepper breeding,
Yes.
the cultural significance of chili peppers,
Right.
and even the psychology behind why people love or hate spicy food.
It's fascinating.
But I'm curious, from your perspective as an expert,
Okay.
what do you think is the most important takeaway for our listener?
That's a great question. I think the most important thing to remember is that chili peppers are more than just a source of heat.
Right.
They're a fascinating example of how something from nature can have a profound impact on our bodies, our cultures, and our lives.
That's a great point. They're a testament to the interconnectedness of the natural world and the human experience.
Exactly. And whether you're a seasoned chili head or just starting to explore the world of spicy food, there's always something new to discover and appreciate about these incredible fruits.
So keep exploring.
Keep exploring.
Keep experimenting.
Yeah.
And maybe even try a new pepper or two.
Exactly. You never know what spicy delights await.
But remember, always handle with care and respect the power of the pepper.
Wise words.
Well, I think it's time for us to cool down a bit and take a short break. But don't worry, we'll be back soon with even more spicy insights. Welcome back to our deep dive into the world of hottest peppers.
Oh, yeah.
We've explored the science, the history, and the cultural significance of these fiery fruits.
It's been quite a journey.
It really has. But before we wrap things up,
Yeah.
I'm curious about something.
Okay.
We talked about those dedicated pepper breeders
Right.
who are constantly pushing the boundaries of heat.
Always trying to go hotter.
Exactly. What do you think is the future of this spicy pursuit? Is there a limit to how hot a pepper can get?
That's a great question, and it's one that scientists and pepper breeders are still trying to figure out.
Right.
There are a lot of factors that influence a pepper's heat,
Okay.
from its genetics to the growing conditions. So it's hard to say for sure if there's a theoretical limit.
So you're saying there might be even hotter peppers out there?
It's definitely possible.
Wow.
The quest for the hottest pepper is an ongoing one.
Right.
And who knows what fiery surprises the future holds.
Imagine a pepper so hot that even a tiny speck
Oh, yeah.
could send you to the hospital.
It could happen.
Okay, that's both exciting and slightly terrifying. But it's fascinating to think that there's still so much to explore in the world of chili peppers.
Absolutely. There's a whole universe of flavored and heat out there waiting to be discovered.
Right.
And it's not just about finding the hottest pepper.
Okay.
Pepper breeders are also experimenting with new flavors, aromas, and even colors.
So the future of chili peppers is about more than just heat.
Exactly. It's about pushing the boundaries of what's possible in terms of taste and sensory experience.
Right.
It's about creating new culinary possibilities
Wow.
and expanding our palates.
That's a great way to put it. So as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of hottest peppers,
Yeah.
what's the one thing you hope our listeners take away from this conversation?
I hope they've gained a new appreciation for the complexity and wonder of chili peppers.
Yeah.
These fiery fruits are more than just a source of heat.
Right.
They're a fascinating example of how nature and culture intertwine, and they offer a world of flavor and sensory experiences to explore.
That's a great takeaway. And to our listener, thank you for joining us on this spicy adventure.
Yes, thanks for listening.
We hope you learned something new and maybe even feel inspired to try a new pepper or two.
Just remember to start small
Yes.
and handle with care.
And if you do happen to try a Carolina Reaper,
Oh boy.
well, we salute your courage,
Yeah, good luck.
but maybe have some milk or ice cream on hand, just in case.
Always a good idea. Until next time, stay curious and keep those taste buds tingling.
Great advice.